We call upon the civil population to return back to their houses, remain calm.
It's the message that President Salva Kiir's government has been sending to its citizens, maintaining that it is firmly in control of the security situation in South Sudan. But thousands more continue to abandon their homes, with the violence now having escalated into a tribal war between the Dinka and Nuer communities that are the bedrock for Kiir and his sacked Deputy Riek Machar, respectively. The United Nations compounds in Juba, Unity State, Upper Nile and Bor have so far taken in more than 20,000 people fleeing their homes.
At the moment, there are 57 Kenyans that are in the UN compound in Bor.
That number has since risen to over 300 Kenyans who are yet to be evacuated from that UN compound in Bor, which has since been taken over by soldiers said to be loyal to former Vice President Riek Machar.
If they are not evacuated soon, the situation, being in the United Nations, they cannot be attacked. So for their own security, they are secured there. But now they will suffer in terms of basic needs, especially food and water.
3 Kenya Airways flights landed Thursday from Juba, ferrying Kenyans from South Sudan, but priority is still being given to those who had booked their flights prior to the conflict.
Because there was this flight, there was 540 that came earlier. Yes. I came with Kenya Airways.
The situation in Juba is very tense. People are really scared.
Gideon Mungai is one of the Kenyans who have managed to come back home from South Sudan. According to him, the number of Kenyans in South Sudan is more than the 30,000 that is registered with the embassy, and many more are still waiting to be evacuated. Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs Ambassador Amina Mohamed is among a group of East African foreign affairs ministers that have traveled to Juba to initiate dialogue and end the fighting. According to the Minister for Interior Affairs Joseph Olelenku, Kenya is already preparing for the humanitarian crisis should it erupt. Another group of Kenyans is expected to be evacuated from Juba, the origin of the fighting, but which is now experiencing some calm. A number of Sudanese government officials have taken refuge in Kenya. And estimate that the number of dead could be close to 700.
But until critical steps are taken for this dialogue to start, there will be more bloodshed. I assure you of that.
So as a country, we are using all means to wish that their situation return to normalcy.
It is not a tribal conflict.
Reports from South Sudan indicate that fugitive former Vice President Riek Machar says that he will only engage in talks with President Kiir if it is to do with his departure. Machar now wants the army to oust Kiir. Esther Kahumbi, Citizen TV.